Hey guys, it's Marshall Mathers the fourth here. I just thought and decided to make another video today because it kind of goes with the video that I did previous to this video of the fact that Incredibles 2 at the very latest should have came out in the year 2012, in the month of November in the year 2012. And this will be a video to pretty much go with that video, or like a continuation of that video, about the fact that Incredibles 3 should have came out in 2016. And the original script for Incredibles 2 is actually much more better and interesting than what ended up being the actual final version of the film. And I will even actually link that video in the description down below. I will even link in the description below in the video that I made before this about the fact that Incredibles 2 should have came out in November of 2012. I'm going to link in that video in the description below the original script or version of the first Incredibles to be what I would have wanted to have been the second Incredibles, or how I would have wanted that film to have gone. I'm going to link the original version or script of the first Incredibles movie in the description down below of when Incredibles 2 should have came out. And then for this video about the fact that Incredibles 3 should have definitely came out in the year 2016, at least in my personal opinion, in November of 2016. I'm going to link in the description down below of this video the original version or script for Incredibles 2 that I would have wanted to have been the script or version for Incredibles 3 that I really wish and do strongly believe should have came out in 2016. And I'm pissed the fuck off that Brad Bird didn't release Incredibles 2 in the year 2012 and then Incredibles 3 in the year 2016, which would have been 4 years after Incredibles 2. And I just feel like he's waiting too long. And you know, in a way, I kind of wish that all of the Incredibles movies would have probably been live action, because I mean, if they would have been live action, then that way not only would they probably have had a higher rating, which probably would have been PG-13, but also the fact that if they would have been live action, he could have had a much easier time making and releasing sequels, because he would have been able to release sequels much sooner, faster, and earlier, because live action films are a lot easier to make than animated films, in the way where they don't take as long. Like, an animated film can take anywhere up from, I think I read somewhere online, like 4 to 8 years or 4 to 10 years or something like that. And I guess it depends too, but it's just kind of crazy. Like, and you know, the unfortunate thing too is the fact that Brad Bird even originally wanted the even first Incredibles movie to be live action, which I never even knew. I saw a video one day on YouTube about this to even confirm it, and in the video this guy was talking about how originally Brad Bird wanted to make even the first Incredibles movie live action. That was his original goal and dream. And I think one of the studios he even went to was Warner Bros. And I don't know why they turned him down or turned down that offer. I think they did because his 90s animated film, which flopped, but now is regarded as one of his most underrated films, and a lot of people like it. I think I've seen it at least once, his movie Iron Giant, his animated movie. And because that unfortunately flopped, other movie studios didn't want to work with him. They didn't even want to bother with him, which I think is pretty cruel and just cold-hearted of those shitty-ass garbage movie studios to have turned down such an interesting offer to make live-action versions of his Incredibles film, which I think is really fucked up on their part. But then Pixar pretty much was like, hey, Brad Bird, come over here. We love your idea. We love your script or whatever. We want to get your film made. And so that's why it ended up being an animated film. And it does make me kind of sad, though, because a part of me kind of wonders if it would have been live action, who he would have chosen for his cast, who Brad Bird would have chosen for, like, Mr. Incredible, Elastigirl, their kids, Syndrome, just all the characters in that movie. And it also even makes me wonder if there would have been, like, director's cut or an extended edition of, like, live action versions of his first Incredibles film, which maybe would have been the case if he would have actually been able to make and release a live action version of his first Incredibles film. And in a way, I would have loved that, because that way he would have been able to release a sequel a lot sooner, and then also a third one, which would have been awesome too. But I mean, I'm fine with animated films. I don't have anything against animated films, but I just can't help but wonder what a live action version of his Incredibles film would have looked like. And I do think it's really sad that that didn't happen, that he didn't get to make that dream of his come true, and to why he pretty much had to settle for making just an animated version of it, which is obviously better than nothing, but still, it's kind of sad. At least I think that. But yeah, Incredibles 3 should have definitely came out in the year 2016, in the month of November, after Incredibles 2 coming out in what should have been November of 2012. Incredibles 3 should have definitely came out in the year 2016 and probably been the last Incredibles film. Hell, I wouldn't even have minded a fourth one, but 3 would have been plenty. But those are the years that I wish Incredibles 2 came out and Incredibles 3. And again, I am going to link in the description down below of this video the original version or script of what Incredibles 2 was going to be, which honestly would have been way better, a just way all around better sequel or follow-up to the first Incredibles. And I think that knowing that Brad Bird didn't go with his original version or idea or vision is probably Pixar's and Disney's fault, because modern Disney and Pixar are woke. They're woke as fuck, which is really unfortunate. And Brad Bird does seem way more like a traditional kind of guy to me, at least. And knowing and seeing the video of what his original vision, version, or script of Incredibles 2 would have been and gone like, it just goes to show me that he actually has great ideas, but then he kind of has to settle for less, because he's working for all these woke, stupid bitch-ass Hollywood movie studio companies in modern times, in woke Hollywood, which is extremely unbelievably progressive and woke. And I'm sure that makes him mad, but of course he's probably not going to be open and vocal about that, because otherwise he'll be fired. But if the reason why he didn't go with his original Incredibles 2 script is just because he didn't like it, or he decided not to, then he's definitely to blame for that, and it's his fault. And I hope it's not. I really hope it's not, because I don't want to put the blame on him, because he's made some of my favorite movies, Incredibles and Ratatouille. I love those films, and they also only came out 3 years apart. Incredibles in 2004 and Ratatouille in 2007. Both very classic Disney Pixar films in such a much more normal time period, being the 2000s, a time that I wish I could go back and just relive those experiences of mine in. But I have those two movies on 4K too, and I love them like both equally. They're some of my favorite Disney Pixar films, and this is coming from a guy who doesn't even love or like or enjoy all of Disney Pixar's animated films. Like, I fucking hate Toy Story 2, and I fucking hate Monsters, Inc., I fucking hate Finding Nemo, I fucking hate Cars 2 and Cars 3. But other than that, the other Disney Pixar films I am a fan of. But I would say the worst Disney Pixar film has definitely been The Good Dinosaur, a film which should have never been made or released. But even those other classic films that I just said, I fucking hate. And I'm going to probably make a video someday even about why I hate Toy Story 2, Monsters, Inc., Finding Nemo, Cars. Well, I already did a video about Cars 2 and Cars 3, so I wouldn't need to do a video about those, but I am definitely going to want to do a video about why I hate Toy Story 2, Monsters, Inc., and Finding Nemo, which will definitely be videos that I'll be very excited to make and to upload to YouTube when I'm done with them. And yeah, I definitely wish Incredibles 3 would have came out in 2016. If Incredibles 2 would have came out in 2012, the year it should have, so that Incredibles 3 should have came out, well, could have and should have came out in the year 2016. But that's pretty much all I wanted to say in today's video. Let me know what you all think in the comment section down below. Like, share this video. I'm out.